From underdog to unsung hero, Shedeur Sanders battles odds, wins hearts in Cleveland while CFL beckons in the shadows. Introduction: the dog fight begins. In the unforgiving world of professional football, not all stars rise with fanfare. Some must crawl through the trenches, overlooked, dismissed, and underestimated, until they roar. That's precisely where Shedeur Sanders stands today. Once hailed as college football's most promising quarterback under the mentorship of NFL Hall of Famer and Father Deion coach Prime Sanders, the 22-year-old now finds himself at the bottom rung of the quarterback ladder for the Cleveland Browns. But don't be fooled by his draft placement or roster spot. Sanders isn't done. Far from it. He's just getting warmed up. The former Colorado Buffaloes gunslinger entered the 2025 NFL Draft with high hopes, only to be selected in the 5th round, a shock to many who had witnessed his elite pocket presence, deadly accuracy, and unmistakable swagger in college. Now, with 3 quarterbacks ahead of him on Cleveland's depth chart, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel, and head coach Kevin Stefanski appearing largely unmoved, Sanders finds himself in unfamiliar waters. But even while unwanted, he's become a phenomenon in Cleveland. Chapter 1. Uninvited, but not invisible. For Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland didn't roll out the red carpet. He arrived with no guarantees, little fanfare, and a QB room already packed tighter than a 4th-and-goal scramble. Kevin Stefanski, a coach under intense scrutiny after a string of underwhelming seasons, seemed more focused on the known quantities, veterans like Flacco and Pickett, or Gabriel, a flashy rookie who arrived ahead of Shedeur. In OTAs and mandatory minicamps, the reps told the story. Flacco and Pickett commanded the first-team snaps. Even Gabriel got his moments under the spotlight. But Sanders? He was relegated to the secondary team. He was the last name called, the 4th option, a long shot. Yet, he showed up and stayed longer. Every session, every drill. He threw the most touchdowns during secondary scrimmages, totaling 9, with the highest completion percentage among all the quarterbacks. His precision, even against second-team defenses, was undeniable. And while many of his peers enjoyed off days and summer festivities, Shedeur was seen drenched on a rain-soaked field in Miami, throwing lasers, perfecting footwork, and repping the Browns' helmet with relentless pride. The Dog Pound, Cleveland's diehard fanbase, noticed. Chapter 2. A city falls for the fighter. Despite the chilly reception at camp, Cleveland has a new hero emerging from the fog. Local fans and media personalities have begun championing Shedeur not just as a QB prospect, but as the city's underdog icon. Earl DePearl, co-host of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, delivered one of the most passionate endorsements to date. "People love Shedeur Sanders in the city of Cleveland," Pearl declared. "He's getting praise from a lot of veterans across the league, near and far." This wasn't hyperbole. Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl champion, has openly mentored Sanders. LeBron James sent a welcome shout-out on social media when Shedeur joined the Browns. These aren't just fans. They're legends tipping their caps to the kid who won't stop fighting. Pearl highlighted Sanders' deep ties with the community. "He's damn near at every high school, every event. He gives a damn. And that's how a city starts to believe in you." He recounted an instance where local students invited Shedeur to a school event before rookie minicamp. Most players would have ignored the request. Sanders showed up, surprising the crowd and keeping his word. This attitude is translating into fan support, betting odds, and growing locker room respect. On Bet360, Shedeur is already tied for 3rd in the race to be the Browns' Week 1 starter, a surreal rise for someone originally viewed as a long-term backup or practice squad filler. Chapter 3. Talent that refuses to be ignored. While the external love pours in, inside NFL circles, a debate is growing. Is Shedeur Sanders merely a long-shot story, or a legitimate QB1 contender? Analyst Dan Orlovsky weighed in with a tactician's eye. "Shedeur fits Stefanski's offense like a puzzle piece," he noted. "He understands timing, reads zones with maturity beyond his years, and plays with composure under pressure." Former NFL wide receiver James Jones took it further. "If Kenny Pickett isn't leading the QB room, the only other option is Shedeur. I believe he's the most talented quarterback on that roster." This kind of commentary forces Cleveland's front office to pay attention. Because when professionals who've played the game at the highest level speak this confidently about a rookie, especially one drafted in the 5th round, it changes the narrative. Still, not everyone is sold. Chapter 4. The Harsh Reality Check. Veteran Browns insider Terry Pluto offered a sobering reality. For Shedeur Sanders, the reality is he's no longer special. Not in the eyes of the NFL. Pluto added that only 7% of NFL starters come from the 5th round. That statistic haunts many rookies. Draft capital often determines opportunity, not talent. And for Shedeur, this journey isn't about being seen as Coach Prime's son or an Instagram icon. It's about clawing his way into legitimacy, inch by inch. Head coach Kevin Stefanski, while complimentary, hasn't handed Shedeur much rope. "We don't read too much into early reps," Stefanski told reporters, trying to downplay the hierarchy. But actions speak louder. Sanders has seen the fewest first-team snaps among all QBs. Still, he hasn't complained. He's just worked. That's what Cleveland's starting to love about him. And if things continue trending upward, it might be impossible for Stefanski to ignore him any longer. Chapter 5. Plan B. Toronto is waiting. In the shadows of the NFL dream, a backup plan quietly simmers. Canada. The Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League recently claimed Shedeur Sanders' CFL rights, a move that many viewed as strategic. Should his NFL hopes stall, the CFL offers a route, not a demotion, but a detour. History is full of stars who made that trip north. Doug Flutie rebuilt his career in Canada before returning to the NFL. Hall of Famer Warren Moon famously chose the CFL when NFL doors were closed. Years later, he came back and left his mark. For Shedeur, Toronto isn't a fallback. It's insurance. It's leverage. It's another stage to shine. Chapter 6. The Final Push and a City's Belief. Despite the uncertainty, Cleveland sports radio personality Ken Carman believes one thing's certain. He'd have to turn around and throw the ball backward every play not to make the opening day roster. Shedeur Sanders is tracking to make the active roster. His focus remains singular: make the Browns believe. And to do that, he's grinding in silence, away from the spotlight, perfecting his game. If the NFL denies him again, the CFL stands with open arms. But as things stand today, with each passing practice and growing fan momentum, Shedeur Sanders is writing one of the most compelling stories of the 2025 season. Conclusion: more than just a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders came to Cleveland unwanted, but now he's unforgettable. Whether it's the high school gymnasium appearances, the extra reps in the rain, or the sheer determination on his face every time he dons the Browns helmet, it's clear he's not just playing to be a quarterback. He's playing to be a symbol, a city's adopted fighter. Where this road leads, no one can say. But one thing's certain: Shedeur Sanders' journey isn't ending. It's just taking shape. And Cleveland, once indifferent, might just become the first city to believe in the legend before it's fully written.